Canaanland's more to Canaanland Moors and the music component of this. To me, as I was saying to my brother here, this is all representative of the ancient sciences, which brought us back, or reawakened us to the art forms and the things that made us who we were. Because it says that we as humans fell. We were in disharmony, right? That's why we fell into the form of flesh, right? Because we weren't in harmony. And music is harmony. And like they say, leave them wanting more.
Mind elevation. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation. We're there, yo. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation. Bench 500 pounds of knowledge. My mental squats keep my mind kick strong at mental devil's backs. Never heard of them, they like to test the weak minds. Yellow journalists propaganda like a slow grind. Make dicks hard with screens. Chinese cracking women's skulls fighting in the women's leagues. We told you there's an agenda you wanna believe. No faith, fruition falls like a leaf. To raise your mind state you can't take a leave. No purple drinks or molded dispensary weed. Buckle down, create a library. Blacks don't read, learn how to study. Open chakras, watch your nose bleed. High at the feet of metaphysical masters. Young L man book before those podcasters. Mind waves extend, I'm my own broadcaster. Pick up the low vibes of you fraud pastors. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation, you know. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation, you know how we do. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation. We're there, yo. Canaanland Moors. I say I wanna do better. They laugh at me. I say I want my own sweater. They act happy. Tuck my arm in it, all caps. That's not me. I got an appellation. When they mad at me, they call the slave out, looking straight right at me. Say the people know the real me, they backstab me. Use an ex-con that's charged 7 counts of on my appeal though. Mine was a gutter from the gully I was born. Seen told not to worry. Everything is right is wrong. Everything is wrong is right. Mom thought it was cool, playing me for a fool, sending me to their school. Leader was a tool, like use me for a pool stick. I build, pound, drown, sound so acoustic. There goes the Mennonite, called them, disprove it. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation, you know. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation, you know how we do. Canaanland Moors. Mind elevation. We're there, yo. Canaanland Moors.
I am a Moorish American man. Uplift humanity, that is my plan. This is Morocco, so this is my land. Open your hands. 5 on the left, Put up the peace sign, two on the right. Open your third eye, can you see the light? Not civil little martus, full life, not civil little martus. Full life. More is a verb, more is a noun. Matter the more because black is an adjective. With the black sadist, then you are Madigan. Christian back coast, Pope of the Vatican. Listen, my people, no time for shenanigans. If this an island, I'ma call you Gilligan. Trace myself back, I'm a rock and I'm here again. Moorish Americans know what the spirit is. The more that you study, the clearer it gets. Did it myself, now I cheer again. This the prophet, we not friends again. Now I can hear again, see again. Welcome to me again. God being me again. Sons of Allah. Did it with intelligence. Study, study, study. Did it with some diligence. 7-11. They mad cause I'm militant. Christopher Columbus, the slave, and I'm serious. Slave is a bloodline. We did the labor. Leave me alone. I don't need any favors. Keep all that money. That shit is just paper. The United States is only on paper. The way you fight back, thoughts written on paper. You can say yourself cause no one can save ya. Gotta study self. Change your behavior. The higher, the lower. Now here come the danger. The lower is walking with one in the chamber. Higher is trying to control all the anger. My ego is saying fuck all of you haters. I'm ready for this, I'm ready for war. 2 seconds on the clock, 1 shot and I'm ready to score. Stop killing over colors, what's that for? Not nigga black colors, we are Moors. I am a Moorish American man. Uplift humanity, that is my plan. This is Morocco, so this is my land. Open your hands, 5 on the left. Put up the peace sign, 2 on the right. Open your third eye, can you see the light? Not civil little martus. Full life, not civil little martus. Full life.
Son of a mother, airship. None of her mothers can fierce dick. Pop smoking but not broken. Riot spoken, screaming BLM. When you see them all, we ain't them. Stay strong, some weak with no end. Roof flow, track up the track, what the hell you know? We on Moors, not baby clones. The great and the great they roll. Nah, in the veins they yo. I'm NFA with y'all, but we ain't them. When the real and the real, real and real. Got news from CNN on MHS, Taj on VHS. Canaanland Moors for the latest. And to Muhammad, no, but you Ali, the greatest. If you talk color, not hearing ya. Bloodsuckers, homo, than malaria. No need to put, there's lots of fear in ya. Just throw you a book and you're scared enough. Bye-bye, little sheep while it's shearing ya. Next day, forget where you're naked from. That's not a heart, that's the shape of a lady's bum. Or 2 separated, slice open atria.
I am a Moorish American man. Uplift humanity, that is my plan. This is Morocco, so this is my land. Open your hands, 5 on the left. Put up the peace sign, 2 on the right. Open your third eye, can you see the light? Not civil little martus. Full life, not civil little martus. Full life. I am a Moorish American man. Uplift humanity, that is my plan. This is Morocco, so this is my land. Open your hands, 5 on the left. Put up the peace sign, 2 on the right. Open your third eye, can you see the light? Not civil little martus. Full life, not civil little martus. Full life.
Corporate to run at the Cali. On paper, rights breaker. Things I get open, get carried. Take it in home to your family. This Lone Star's not Texas. It's Moorish, not matinee. Stay touring, not here to stay. This I'm a rock, not United States. On the rock, not rock with me. On the block, firm, not top heavy. Push more with black, nothing happening. Who's wearing masks, getting robbed, not me. Real life monopoly.
Northgate, H2O flow, Chic, Canaanland Moors, when these fall, Shalon Davis, salute, hot house, check it. They say they wanna learn, they only debate, referencing the truth, trust me, they only sound the great. Study nationality before you question my estate. I'm not a minority, why you so late? Majority rules, here comes the test. Fact, that's my hand in the form of a V on the chest. That's a womb that is blessed like a moon and a crest. Major forever, infinite mindset. Major from birth, that's a seed in process. I'm a Moor, that is easy to digest. Competent, never tyrannous. That is my land, never vacant. Sacred traditions, petitions for what you're not Jamaican. Westmoreland to Portmore, everybody needs more. Refuel, please more. Following the apostle, we should read more. I see the unseen more. We more. That's a fact. Canaanland.
say they want to learn, complain classes are too long. Don't want it on a phone call, energy too strong. Get it from the wrong source, now they way off course. Think they must be Muslim and give up on all sports. Should give up the red meat, must give up on all porks. Won't be yelling harder when the bottles are uncorked. Eating with the spoon, use forks for tuning. Eating humble pie, no ego ballooning. Samson 2 caterpillars, got 'em cocooning. As the full moon hung, spiral energy moving. Up through the crown chakra, energy shooting. And told me upload classes before live YouTubing. 16,000 subscribers, 20% consuming. 80% troll pretending to be tuned in. Comment on every video, pushing the thumbs down. We'll push the link when we're live just like a clown. Pouring in the incompetence, always debating. Dissing Drew Ali but won't give their location. His image on the black banner, that's placation. Just get him out of here, Yusuf yells in frustration. We know they're playing games, we're not berating. Calling 911, scimitars penetrating. In defense of prophets and mothers abused. And newly awakened Moors, amused and confused.
I mean, not personally with Brother Cujo, but just on a whole, with information going to our people and what we as a people need to be doing to bring ourselves together, you know what I mean, in the most truthful and honest way that we possibly can. So I give you the floor for a few minutes to bring your point across, my sister. Give thanks.
Islam, give thanks, family. All right, so not personal. We're going to keep it very, very, very political. So it can be simply put for people, okay? Noble Jew Ali brought the old-time religion when it comes to Islam. I self-law and master, that is CMB. Not saying anything is wrong with it. However, when you have people who are leaning on their own interpretation off of a definition by someone other than what the definition of Islam that Noble Jew Ali brought, it let people tread off into their own mind.
Now, the only way people get this stuff messed up is if they don't go check for themselves. The only way people are confused, I'm confused about the Moorish nationality. How do I do this? The only reason they're confused is because they never went and checked for themselves. Now, you make bold statements. Drew Ali brought the old-time religion. But I self-law and master acronym is CMB. Implying that's some new thing. While also implying that ain't nothing wrong with it, so then why use it as a reference point then if nothing's wrong with it? Why bring it up? So we go to Drew Ali. So Drew Ali said, with regard to Islam. So Drew Ali said, what is Islam? Islam is a very simple faith. It requires man to recognize his duties toward God Allah, his creators, and his fellow creatures. It teaches the supreme duty of living at peace with one's surroundings. It is preeminently the religion of peace. The very name Islam means peace. The goal of a man's life, according to Islam, is peace with everything. Peace with Allah and peace with man. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, tells us that the final abode of man is the house of peace, where no vain word or sinful discourse will be heard. The holy divine prophet Noble Jew Ali says that a follower of Islam, in the true sense of the word, is one whose hands, tongue, and thoughts do not hurt others. Object of man's life, according to Islam, is its complete unfoldment. Islam teaches that man is born with unlimited capacities for progress. Islam does not support the idea that man was born in sin. It teaches that everyone has within him the seed of perfect development, and it rests solely with himself to make or mar his fortune. The cardinal doctrine of Islam is the unity of the Father Allah. We believe in one God, Allah, who is all God, all mercy, and all power. He is perfect and holy, all wisdom, all knowledge, and all truth. These are some of his great attributes so far as we can understand. He is free from all defects, holy and transcendent. He is personal to us insofar as we see his attributes working for us and in us. But he is nevertheless impersonal. Because he is infinite, perfect, and holy, we do not believe that death, decay, or sleep overtake him. Neither do we believe that he is a helplessly inactive and inert force. Nothing happens without his knowledge and will. He neither begets nor is he begotten, because these are the trails of a frail and weak humanity. This unity of Allah is the first and foremost pillar of Islam, and every other belief hangs upon it. That's what Drew Ali is telling you, what Islam is. Real simple. Nothing too crazy. But because you couldn't get that, because you couldn't get this basic idea that if our religion is Islam, then our religion is peace. And if peace is one of our principles, then we should be probably repping some Islam harder than anybody else. You should be. If Drew Ali told Moors, you ain't getting nothing if you don't go by the principles, and then Islam means peace, and peace is one of our principles, then you should probably give Islam some consideration. So because you weren't doing that, because you didn't honor your forefathers and foremothers like Drew Ali told you to do, then you have individuals like CMB now who break it down further for you. Because you can't even get the basic stuff that Drew Ali brought. The common sense stuff, you can't even get that. That's the mental slavery our people are in. So because you're such a mental slave, messengers had to be sent after the prophets for your dumb ass. Because the prophet's message is too deep for you people. So here come the underlings doing their best based on their studies and what they know, breaking this thing down for our people. Breaking it down for them. So they don't have to be guessers. They can be knowers for once. Their miserable lives. Claiming fictions all the damn time. If only a Moor would do right. You know what Drew Ali said. If only a Moor would do right. Some Moors did right. CMB was one of those Moors. Free Moorish, Master Mason and all that stuff. And he wasn't holding any secrets. Gave you everything. Gave you what your Islam is. Your ancient foremothers and forefathers' religion. Islam. I, from the creator of the universe, representing mother and child, from hence you came. S, self. Each one of us is a trinity, this being the symbol of civilization. L, law. The length, angle, and width of the cosmic energies that marked you. A, am. The joining of two trinities, male and female, principles, the triune, which creates another I am. M, master. This being the glyph for the planet Earth, of which we are on, and aspire to be master navigators upon. So because you missed Juali's simple lesson that this means peace, now CMB came, broke the thing down into lessons for you, so you can try to get yourself back to what Noble Juali was saying. Because remember, everybody around him sold out. Treason. Around Noble Juali, near the end of his days, were traitors and sellouts. That's it. He could trust no one. They went so far as to kick him out his own movement while he was alive. Everybody's familiar with the traitors. I keep telling you this. You don't want to pay traitors any attention. You want to get info. You want to get knowledge. You want to apply this, push that, manifest this. And then your stuff lasts 2 months and then it's done. Then it lasts 3 years and then it's done. Then it lasts 9 years and then it's done. Then it lasts whatever and then it's done. And you keep looking at the European spraying stuff in the sky, and European putting stuff in the water. The Europeans, the GMOs, the weed we're smoking, that's why stuff is messed up. No, it's the traitors around you. Why stuff is messed up. Why is this hard? Why is this so advanced? Until you get rid of the traitors, the struggle continues, because that's the reason our people struggle. Sellouts amongst our own. They're among your own to the point where they're going to try to convince you not to go to rvbaypublications.com to learn, not to listen to Canaanland Moors to learn, but they don't have anything for you. How they don't have anything for you? And you're hearing them convince you don't go to certain people when they have nothing for you? They have absolutely nothing to show that they're even in favor of you and what you want? Nothing? Now, people keep thinking that they're making a way toward because European did something to make us look like we got something. I self-law master, whether it came from CMB, whether it came from Noble Juali, Islam, the science, the art of peace, Islam better be studied. And if you've been studying Islam for a year as a Moor, and all you come out with is now you know how to speak Arabic and you could do Salat, you obviously didn't get the CMB lessons. You obviously didn't get the Noble Drew Ali lessons. Obviously not. Because when we're talking about Islam, we're talking about being peace. And when you hear people talk, you realize they have no peace in them. So if they're claiming to be Moors, and then you can't find any of the principles exuding from them, watch these people.
Hence how you have people in positions thinking that they can run 6 different positions in one spot and they can switch off. No, your position is your position. It's too much damn confusion. And it's convoluted because people in certain positions don't want to make the corrections necessary. So I called them out because nobody had the gall to do it.
Positions, titles, seats, whatever you want to identify it as. Master teacher, grand whatever, supreme grand whatever. The priesthood is dead. Anybody playing position games with you are playing you. Their only need is graves and funeral chants. The priesthood, the people with titles, all they have with those titles is the power to bury dead. That's it. That's all they have with those titles. The only title that means anything right now is prophet. The only individual that should have a title is prophet. Ain't anybody else that should be out here pushing Moors have some type of titles other than El Bayt Al Ali. Even Moorish American. Even that's more of a title than these seats that these people are claiming. F a seat. F a grand sheik, a grand secretary and all that stuff. There's Moors without titles doing more work than the people with titles. I think the title means something. How the title means something? When we know Moorish secretaries that they're more a secretary than secretary who has the temple and they got a key to go in the door and they got the keys for the closet and whatever else you need keys for in there. The priesthood is dead. There is no need for priestly titles right now. You should be grand sheiking yourself. You should be grand governing yourself. You should be grand secretarying yourself. You're not supposed to be calling on so you should be self-consul. Forget consulate general. Why are you not self-consul? Why aren't you as a national making your own arrangements with these kidnappers? Huh? Why are you making your own arrangement with the kidnappers? Why you need a consular general for? Unless you're incompetent. It's no different than needing a lawyer. Only somebody incompetent is going to get kidnapped and then want somebody to call to see if they can do the paperwork to get them released or whatever. Consular General got kidnapped? You? Oh, that you got kidnapped, right? Oh, you were the one that made a left instead of making a right, right? You are the one who your energy is so messed up that this is the 5th time that these people pulled you over. 5 times they got you? How they get you 5 times? Well, what type of low vibratory frequency are you on? When's the last time you saged yourself? How you have issues with highwaymen and then you're calling somebody? Yeah, you want a phone call? Yeah, you call the consul general to come get me. Shouldn't you be self-consul? Because the priesthood is dead, and then the consul general, that's a title of a priest. Just like Grand Sheik is the title of a priest. And Grand Governor, title of a priest. Pope's title of a priest. Prime Minister, title of a priest. Governor General, title of a priest. But the priesthood is dead. So if the priesthood is dead, why you need a priest? Why you need a dead priest to assist you in your affairs of living? You hear there need is graves and funeral chants? Oh, so if you have a dead priest, as your leader guy, then that would mean that you're dead too, right? Then dead is civil liter mortus, right? Okay. All right. All right. But you're not gonna hear what we're saying. Telling you that it's your own selling you out. Telling you need title people when, they just don't want to get a job. That's why they're telling you 400 for their class and 500 an hour. Right. Nobody came and got me. I'm home now. Right? Nobody. Moor's home now, though. The problem is the people don't want to be tested. They want to be a Moor is a cakewalk. And be a Moor is just be a Moor. No. But you don't want to hear us tell you about the sellout, so let's just let somebody else tell you.
Well, give thanks for shining in and giving your gems as usual. I would say to you, I wish the conversation could have continued in a better way. I would love to have a conversation with Empress, also Empress Rece herself up also as a brother Cujo. But as I said to you, this system is a new system that I'm using for the callers just now. Didn't familiarize myself with muting, muting everyone that comes in. So I have to put that in the settings. But as I said to you, we want to have a conversation of dialogue, not talking over each other. So we could definitely get some information. So shout out to everyone locked in and rise up to Grand Sheik Cujo. Definitely take some time to share with us some information today. So I want to get back in part of a presentation. I said to you on the media. That brother Cujo did also one of the projects he did about Marcus Garvey. That's something I definitely want to touch back into. So let's get this presentation on so we can, get some food for thoughts. Some food for thoughts as we look at our situation that we're in. Because for me, whatever name we can come together under, as long as we are united, because I said number is strength. That's the only way we're going to go forward. So I did promise this from earlier on. Yes, definitely, we're still on here. So I did kind of promise this to present earlier on in session show. Somebody asking for the replay back. So I'm going to look for this presentation about this African brother is talking about his take on how the Chinese can just come and take over Africa and run Africa in a way without no qualification. They did go to Harvard. They know the qualification that most of us have done, but they managed to do it. So let's get this presentation on and see if we can get the phone line up, back, and running. All right, so peace and love to everyone who's locked into
Chinese. So let me make one.
Let me just pull this back from the start so I can play about this presentation, because it was definitely asked for me to replay. All right, so keep it locked right here. We are just touching 6 minutes to the hours of 3 p.m. because another hour in the building. All right, in the top of the hour, taking action, we got Rece Ezekiel with the musical vibration taking you from 4 to 6, 6 to 8, we got Jack Iron, and 8 to 10, which we got our brother Aston in the house. I'm not sure if our brother is sure he's going to be here from 8 till 10. All right? Don't know if we get that show, but keep it locked right here on the galaxy of Fiwi.net. Let's get this presentation on. I played earlier on. My brother breaking down the Chinese in Africa.
People, listen to me very carefully. I told you yesterday it's about solutions here, not problems. Look, migration, China came and took our stuff, we borrowed money from them, and all those talks are meaningless. Listen to me. They are meaningless unless you don't have solutions. If you don't have solutions, all this talk is meaningless. And migration is natural. Look, everything China is doing to Africa, they are doing it according to the law. There is nothing illegal. Let me make one thing clear to you all. Everything these white people with this European global elites are sucking out of Africa. Look, the Nigerian crude oil is being sucked out of Nigeria. It's not well managed. Even some of the areas in Nigeria, it is destroying the villages, it is destroying their water. These are all legal according to the Nigerian government. Let me make one thing clear. According to the Nigerian government, according to the governors of those states, these things that happen, they signed the law that said it's okay. The Chinese didn't magically appear in Africa. They came legally to an incompetent race. Incompetent race. Race that believes that when you are just talking, you are powerful. Race that believe that when you have Julius Malema saying something, you are powerful. Have you seen any Chinese activist talking? Have you seen any Chinese man that is giving a speech like Barack Obama? But they are all coming. Because talk is cheap. You can give good speeches from teleprompters and television channels and news stations and say something nice. But if you can't build a toothpick factory, you cannot build, anything for yourself. All you know how to do is design a bag, bleaching creams, fake Brazilian hair, and make sure you have a big ass and you can wear good clothes and you know how to talk. That's all the African man has done. You look at African leaders. I'm telling you, look at all the African leaders you have. From Ghana president to the Kenya president, all of them, most of them, Ivorian president, they all have Western education degrees. Cambridge, Oxford, Harvard, this big Georgetown, university degrees. The Chinese probably don't have these degrees African leaders have. But ask yourself, how come these Chinese are functioning right, and a black man with all these degrees, he can buy a Range Rover, he can buy the latest car, he wants to drive Lamborghini, he wants to do all those things. But a Chinese man that hasn't got any degree, some of them are even rice farmers. rice farmers from China. 3 years ago, a couple of my friends were showing me something in Dublin, in Ireland, that if you give a Chinese man $50,000, if you give a Chinese man that is a rice farmer $50,000, and you give him a ticket to go to Ghana, he can become $20 million rich in less than 3 years. He's intelligent actually than the Ghanaian PhD holder. I said, that's a lie. They said, Ben, we did this report. Look at it. I said, it's a lie. They said, look at it. This is it. And they actually did it. Look, they were able to prove that a Chinese man that doesn't know how to read and write, he doesn't even know Beijing, he doesn't know Hong Kong, he doesn't know anywhere in those big cities in China, even Wuhan. He's a villager. All he knows is how to operate an excavator. If you give him $50,000 and you put him in a plane and get him a visa and you put him on the land of Africa, he can function better than a PhD holder from Africa. He can hire African military to protect him while he's mining your gold from the 50,000. He can rent African excavators and machines in Africa. He will even have to pay them.
Don't sound familiar? Don't sound like some other niggers, you know, who's under colonization by some other pale people? Some straight hair pale people? It doesn't sound familiar to you? Africans in their own line, foreigners coming there, taking over. In America, Africans in their own land, foreigner coming over here, taking over. And then you can't even find a job. But you're in your own land. And then the ones over there, they're leaving over there to come over here. And they're going to take your place as new nigger, which is going to leave over there open for China to get rid of all their 55 quadrillion billion people. Now they got some room over there. You think they're building 10-lane highways on the continent for some Africans who run through the bushes? You really think they're building roads for gazelle chasing people, right? You know, I haven't played. Keep playing.
In advance, and he will mine African gold up to 20 million and give money to African military men to escort him with his gold, and he will ship the gold back to China. And even give some of African pastors, African church members money. He will buy drums for the local church. He will buy a van, $5,000 van for the local church. They will all praise him. They will say thank you anytime he's passing. And he will take about 20 million worth of African wealth and bring it to China. He's uneducated. He's never gone to school. He doesn't read Shakespeare. He cannot read beautiful speeches on teleprompter like Julius Malema. He's not as intelligent as Ghanaian president. He's not as intelligent as... he hasn't gone to any military school like President Buhari. He hasn't. He's not as intelligent as Kenyatta. He's not as educated as Ivorian president. He hasn't got any degree. He's a rice farmer from a Chinese village. He doesn't know Beijing. He doesn't know Hong Kong. If you put $50,000 in his hand, he can bring 20 million worth of gold from Africa. With the help of the African government, he will buy that PhD holder and military soldier to give him protection on that jungle. He will give him escort. He will call him, say, he will buy African pastor with $5,000 church drums and band. They will praise him as he's the best person ever. That is how dumb and stupid African black man is, with all his degrees he has. Ask yourself, all the wealth Nigerian governors have, they bank them in Swiss banks. Millions of wealth. They bank them in Swiss bank. They buy houses in foreign lands. Some of the houses they are buying abroad, and helicopters and planes they are buying abroad. Each of these things can build factories within the continent of the country of Nigeria, within their constituencies, that all their citizens can get jobs. What is inside the black man's head that when he looks at all these things, he spends the money on vanity instead of doing these things that he's supposed to do, that the Chinese man is doing. Brothers, this is not about hating Chinese. So let me make one thing clear. Mama, $50,000, and you give him a ticket to go to Ghana, he can become $20 million rich in less than 3 years. He's intelligent actually than the Ghanaian PhD holder. I said that's a lie. They said, Ben, we did this report. Look at it. I said it's a lie. They said, look at it. This is it. And they actually did it. Look, they were able to prove that a Chinese man that doesn't know how to read and write, he doesn't even know Beijing, he doesn't know Hong Kong, he doesn't know anywhere in those big cities in China, even Wuhan. He's a villager. All he knows is how to operate an excavator. If you give him $50,000 and you put him in a plane and get him a visa and you put him on the land of Africa, he can function better than a PhD holder from Africa. He can hire African military to protect him while he's mining your gold from the 50,000. He can rent African excavators and machines in Africa. He will even have to pay them. He'll take it in advance. And he will mine African gold up to 20 million and give money to African military men to escort him with his gold, and he will ship the gold back to China. And even give some of African pastors, African church members money. He will buy drums for the local church. He will buy a cab, a van, $5,000 van for the local church. They will all praise him. They will say thank you anytime he's passing. And he will take about 20 million worth of African wealth and bring it to China. He's uneducated. He's never gone to school. He doesn't read Shakespeare. He cannot read beautiful speeches on teleprompter like Julius Malema. He's not as intelligent as Ghanaian president. He's not as intelligent as, he hasn't gone to any military school like President Buhari. He hasn't. He's not as intelligent as Kenyatta. He's not as educated as Ivorian president. He hasn't got any degree. He's a rice farmer from a Chinese village. He doesn't know Beijing. He doesn't know Hong Kong. If you put $50,000 in his hand, he can bring 20 million worth of gold from Africa. With the help of the African government, he will buy that PhD holder and military soldier to give him protection on that jungle. He will give him escort. He will call him, say, he will buy African pastor with $5,000 church drums and band. They will praise him as he's the best person ever. That is how dumb and stupid African black man is, with all his degrees he has. Ask yourself, all the wealth Nigerian governors have, they bank them in Swiss banks. Millions of wealth, they bank them in Swiss banks. They buy houses in foreign lands. Some of the houses they are buying abroad, and helicopters and planes they are buying abroad. Each of these things can build factories within the continent of the country of Nigeria, within their constituencies, that all their citizens can get jobs. What is inside the black man's head that when he looks at all these things, he spends the money on vanity instead of doing these things that he's supposed to do, that the Chinese man is doing. Brothers, this is not about hating Chinese. So let me make one thing clear. This is about examining yourself as a black man. Are you a monkey or are you a human being? Because so far, monkeys don't behave like the way black leaders are behaving. No monkey would look at the weight of his own clans. When you give monkey a banana that he knows that the banana is good for him, that banana he will share it among his people. Black man is, with all his degrees he has. Ask yourself, all the wealth Nigerian governors have, they bank them in Swiss banks. Millions of wealth, they bank them in Swiss banks. They buy houses in foreign lands. Some of the houses they are buying abroad, and helicopters and planes they are buying abroad. Each of these things can build factories within the continent of the country of Nigeria, within their constituencies, that all their citizens can get jobs. What is inside the black man's head that when he looks at all these things, he spends the money on vanity instead of doing these things that he's supposed to do, that the Chinese man is doing. Brothers, this is not about hating Chinese. So let me make one thing clear. This is about examining yourself as a black man. Are you a monkey or are you a human being? Because so far, monkeys don't behave like the way black leaders are behaving. No monkey would look at the weight of his own plans. When you give monkey a banana that he knows that the banana is good for him, that banana he will share it among his people. He will not sell it to maggots and then beg the maggots for food. He will shove it in his jaws and make sure he's full first. So what kind of brain does African leaders have that they will bank the wealth of Africa? Even when he's a pastor, he's banking them abroad and he's selling false a prophecy. He's banking them, he's buying Range Rovers and helicopters instead of building factories. Because $500,000 can build a factory. $500,000 can build a factory in every village in Africa. What is inside a black woman's heart and her womb? What is in a black woman's womb that you give birth to idiots, fools, monkeys that believe that the money that they can make is worth buying Range Rover instead of building a factory? African mothers, ask yourself, what kind of womb have you got that when your children come to this world, they prefer private jets instead of factories? Because the Chinese are building factories. Even when he's not educated, he's building factories. Even when he can't read and write, he's making factories and selling you these products. Mothers of Africa, ask yourself, what kind of children are you born in? Stop insulting Chinese. These Chinese that you are looking at, they are not as educated as you are Africans. They don't read Shakespeare. They don't know pi r square and all those mathematics you studied in Western education. How come they are smarter than you? How come they are intelligent than you? That's the question a black man should. Jesus Christ, he said, examine, remove the stick in your eyes before you tell me what is in my eyes. We are not here to hate Chinese. We are here to find out what the fuck is wrong with the black man because he's behaving worse than a monkey. We put a black man in the White House. We put a black man in the White House for 8 years. He promoted same-sex marriage.
What the F is wrong with these people? What is wrong with them? What's wrong with them? Are you a monkey? Are you a monkey? Cussing them out. Just how they're supposed to get it. Cussing them out just like they're supposed to get it. Playing games. Don't let these people play games with you. Study, study, study for real. That's all you got. Ain't no magic bullets out here. Ain't somebody got some secret paperwork. You're gonna buy that and you're gonna be free. That's not what this is. Anybody talking like that's playing you. This is about studying. This is about you knowing. If you don't want to know, no problem. Go be dumb nigger. But don't bring up Moors. Don't bring up Noble Drew Ali and all that stuff. Don't try to give Moors your perspective and all that. We don't give a shit about your perspective. If you're stateless, what perspective you have? They're going to try to make you not study. They're going to try to make you follow some guy over there. Don't fall for it. I don't care who the guy is. I don't care who it is. They say, oh, Noble Drew Ali, we found Noble Drew Ali and he's right here. He said to do this paperwork. Don't do it. You better go study. But that's the prophet. That's it. Don't do it. You better go study. So somebody telling you Noble Drew Ali 2022. You can go right over there, the Burr Oak Cemetery, you see the grave site or whatever like that. Stop the BS. Don't be telling me Drew Ali told you to do this paperwork. Somebody's playing you. Someone's playing you. Don't get played. Study this information so you can know. Forget I heard and you know. I was listening to and you know. Somebody said and you know. Forget all that shit. You better go study if you want to know. But if you don't study, you can't claim to know. Stuff is real simple. It's real basic. I know you love it advanced. I know you love it advanced. I know you don't want to cut up the vegetables and all that stuff. You want to just go to McDonald's and just get them to do it for you. Go cut up your vegetables. Stop being lazy and fat. Stop being fat and lazy and go study. Yes, the boat has left the dock years ago. Yes. But you're in water up to your neck. So what are you going to do? Stand there, or are you going to figure something out? Because you know which way the boat went. There's only one way. You know the way that the boat went. So if the boat left the dock and you're up to your neck in water, it's probably about trying to move in the direction of where the boat went. Because everything else is water. Ain't nothing else around you but water. You're up to your neck. Your feet aren't touching anything. It's probably time to go in the direction of the boat. Still floating around with these idiots over here talking about we aren't Moors. Are you up to your neck in water? Moors are the only ones that could bring you above water. And then you're debating Moors. How does that work? How are you debating Moors? And they're neck deep in it. And again, they're stateless, so they're debating with no facts, and then want to know how come everybody's passing by them in speedboats and all that. They're racist. They're violating my human rights. I'm a free sovereign being. I have rights as a free sovereign being. You're in the middle of a damn water. No land around you. Talking about you're sovereign. I am a nation. No, you're an island. You're an island. You better find some land. You better find the mainland. Stop playing rubber ducky. You floating around in the tub. You got ocean. You got ocean you could claim. You're playing rubber ducky in the tub. Talk about this is the best ever. I don't need to go to the ocean. This is the best ever, the bathtub. Goofball. Y'all better study. Because as you heard, ain't no Africans coming to save you either. You just heard the African tell you that they're dumb. Because they sold out their birthrights to China. Just like the dumbasses over here sold their birthrights to these colonists. And then now they're complaining. Well, how come the Chinese are racist to us? Because this is our land. Oh yeah? What's this land called? This is Africa. Ha! Steal your stuff. Just because they know they can. Just because they know they can. And why can they? Because our people love incompetence. Our people love to be the dullest knife in the drawer. Talk about cut something. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Special premiere tonight, 8 p.m. on Canaanland Moors YouTube. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all mothers. Islam.
I always have the feeling that, you know, it's a oneness.
Naga who? Naga you? Naga who? Naga you? Roots rock ready. This is rebel music. 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 Some had a misconcept, hatchet, misconstrued, took things out of context. Said I had an attitude, say I have a complex. Like to have my own way, and always act rude. Wanna question my intellect, so every chance they get is just signs of disrespect. And every day you wanna challenge like it's an effing contest. It's cause you're more concave, and I'm more convex. And I released all my slaves, I mastered my conquest. Still I stay complex, it's just a choice that I made. So my ways stay checked, still I feel compressed. Feeling I can't digest, stuffed up sinus. You feel the congest, still I must confess. Love confrontation, just hate the comments. For my own congregation, not part of Congress. Strategize, play chess, avoid contamination, and stay conscious.
Yeah, listen, do it like we never did before. Try for not know what we build up, then we're roaring and we're knocking at your door and more. For war, then I'm winning it for sure. When we're ready with my 2-5, your skull getting bored with more. Knowledge, yes, I'm spitting it for sure. Like a soldier on the come up in survival mode and more. Moor's up, you're repping it for sure. Yes, Akashic, my music galore. Reach it back with momentum. Strong enough to bend them. The spoon is no more. They say the old lady sent them. Beginning and the ending. And catching stars was the lesson. Pinpoint mission, blaze the session. Up from the root, I took my seat with my sister and my brethren. Council of legends, divine circle 7. I'm stemming from the heavens to keep it steady with the message. When I possess your intense, I guard off with incense. Should know off, put it on the beat like a remix. And rise like the phoenix, so close eyes can see it. Anonymous, we rockin' like we seasick. Bossing and we keeping on 100, no free trip.
Roots rock ready. This is rebel music. Roots rock ready. This is rebel music. Roots rock ready. This is rebel music. Roots rock ready. This is rebel music.
What really started the connection now is one day when I was actually speaking about Marcus Garvey, yes, and Haile Selassie, and Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards. And then somebody in the discussion said, I'm sorry I can't leave out Noble Drew. You know, but at that time, I wasn't knowledgeable of who Noble Drew was. You know, so the name rang a bell right there.
When Crazy Horse was a baby, he nursed from the breast of every woman in the tribe. The Sioux raised their children that way. Every warrior called every woman in the tribe mother. Every older warrior, they called him grandfather. And the point here is that they fought as a family. Take care of your men. Teach them to take care of each other. Because when this starts, each other is all we're going to have.
This is a cold war. Do you know what you're fighting for?
Do you know?
This is a cold war. Do you know
Tell
what
me.
you're fighting for? This is a cold war. Do you know what you're fighting for?
Gotta know when to pick your battles, though.
For years I've been trying to figure out, but through the tears, the laughter, the flood, and the drought, had to take a different route. Which way? All these schools of thought, all they gave me was doubt. It was food for thought, but wasn't hand to mouth. So I took it hand to hand. Wrong transactions eventually led me to Circle 7 Karam. But first it was Don Jail, cell block, 2-way south. Now who's that to save the day? It's Moorish science. If it's Superman, where's your cape? Is there reliance? All for a slice of cake. Is why we fight and I'm still mourning Toba, Chung and Tate. You hear me crying? I don't go to funerals and wakes. I ain't lying. We say we Moors, but we still acting niggerish. Arguing, bickering, cause opinions different. Know what's at stake, but still claiming ownership. Negro, black, colored, Moor still ain't owning shit.
Bet you thought this was a thug song. About to get it in, I had these thugs wrong. They killing all our babies, mamas more long. You take this for a joke, the trigger change for. I'm about to spit on how these lanes wrong. How you trying to hold on that before your name bomb? Yo, live by it, die by the gun strong. Who these weak men? Tell me where they came from. T.O. I destroy your rep gone. You ain't getting no respect, you better go for 'em. Finance to bypass the war zone. Karma debt, a real threat to life songs. You better know to call on those who came and went from the. Recognize your Moorish descent. You way past this time that you put into the test. I guess you think you ready for the. Yeah. History. I got visions that it will happen, no longer a mystery. Can I live? It's like opposition trying to nitpick life. Gets rough, I need a quick flip. That note surround me like a yoke at the throat. I ain't lending and saving, I dish out and get nothing to the grave. They sold sin to color me like this money. Rights inalienable, they want to take it from me, so test, the rest is history. I got visions that it will happen, no longer a mystery. Can I live? It's like opposition trying to nitpick life. Gets rough, I need a quick flip. That note surround me like a yoke at the throat. I ain't lending and saving, I dish out and get nothing to the grave. They sold sin to color me like this money. Rights inalienable, they want to take it from me, so my visibility gets scarce. I'm jungle mode, chilling with the lions, the tigers, and the bears. No SOS flare, cause it's me and the world, I ain't against it. My mind press it, no guess shit. Telepathic senses, my son gets it. Who can mess with rain in the soil? This muddy beckon to carry on seeds when the war's threatened. I could imagine being in two places, same time, with a frame of mind to be able to save the seeds, pour the ride to the other side, live divine, leave this crazy past behind.
Times are rougher than rough, tougher than tough. They get to use them belly full, but they say it's not enough. 40% of the population locked up in handcuffs. They claim it's rehabilitation, but I'm calling it bluff. Cause what you learn is infiltration and how to be more corrupt. Unless you get that sensation and feelings start to erupt from the Most High's inspiration, and your heart gets touched with causes daily meditation. But still to learn there's much. But some get suicidal cause their hopes get crushed. For daily tactics of survival, it's the scriptures I clutch, and it gives us soul revival. Cause Mother, Father, we trust. We finally made our arrival, still we're furious, but staying patient and calm, cause we know we soon bust. Keeping the faith and stay strong, we maintain our focus.
to the black pastor arrested by Alabama police as he was watering his neighbor's garden while they were out of town. TJ Holmes is with us now, and what Pastor Michael Jennings is saying after the ordeal. Good morning to you.
All right, Stray. Driving while black, walking while black, golfing while black, swimming while black, napping while black, staying in an Airbnb while black, sitting in a Starbucks while black, bird watching while black. It's become a part of our vernacular here. And look, you and I talked about plenty of these stories here. Add to this now, watering your neighbor's plants while black. That's what this pastor was doing, and police were called on him. And now we have this police body cam video that shows how he goes from literally a water hose to handcuffs in just a couple of minutes.
I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor until I don't want to hear you. Sir. You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
This newly released police body camera video shows the arrest of an Alabama pastor who was watering his neighbor's plants.
Do what you got to do. Don't lock me up.
This past spring, Pastor Michael Jennings was doing a favor for a neighbor who'd asked him to water their plants while they were out of town. But police arrived and started questioning.
You're not supposed to be here.
I'm Pastor Jennings. I live across the street.
You're Pastor Jennings?
Yes, I'm looking out for their house while they gone.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's cool. Do you have like ID and all?
No, man. I'm not gonna give you no ID.
Why not?
I ain't did nothing wrong.
And if you're not one to identify yourself,
who calls y'all?
That's what we got to figure out.
I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor until I don't want to hear you.
Sir.
You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
We're just trying to talk to you, man. Come here. Look, man. Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. Dude. Just calm down. Okay?
No.
Stop.
Do what you got to do. Don't lock me up. I told you I'm a pastor.
Okay, look, man.
Who called y'all?
You have to identify yourself. All I did said, hey, man, do you live here? No. Is that your car? No.
The pastor was eventually put in the back of a squad car. A woman soon arrives on scene, identifies herself as a neighbor, and vouches for Pastor Jennings.
He lives right there, and he would be watering their flowers. This is probably my fault.
Okay.
She says she is the one who made the initial call to police.
So you called not because of the car, but because you thought she saw someone beside you.
Right, I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, I got to keep their flowers watered. I got to keep their flowers watered while they're gone. You okay?
Jennings spoke to GMA about the ordeal.
It was kind of surreal at that moment because I'm wondering, why is this happening? I was thinking if I did something wrong or resisted, that I could have been shot. So I was trying to cooperate, even though I didn't understand what was going on.
I heard from the pastor that got kidnapped. Happy holiday to all the Moors worldwide. We heard from the pastor, man, the black man that got kidnapped. We heard his story. You know, pretty interesting. Lady came out and all that stuff. Said, I'm the one that called and all that stuff. He still got kidnapped. But it's always different with Moors. It's always different with Moors. It's always a much broader thing when it comes with Moors, right? So Moors going camping, they're on the highway for 12 hours. Moor over here did something, oh my gosh. But when it really goes down with Moors who aren't calling for a consulate, who aren't calling for Grand Sheikh, who aren't calling for Grand Governor, who aren't calling for the Consulate General of the whatever to come help me or whatever like that, it's a different breed of Moors. So we just want to get the story on the records because I see they took down the video. I don't know if you took it down, but I see they took down the video. We might as well get it on the record. Islam, boy.
Islam, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. To clear up Islam, Morris, to clear up the video on my channel, I took it down because when I made the video and went live, everybody could hear me. You know, everybody was commenting in the chat or whatever. Then when I posted it to my channel, next thing I know, Instagram's telling me my video's up there, but the voice has been muted. Like, so they canceled my voice, but you can see the video. So I'm like, why would I leave it up there if you can't hear what I'm saying? So that's why I took it down. So I'm like, you can't even hear me because they muted what the message. And what it was, you know, I was telling what happened when they kidnapped me and my learning experiences and stuff like that, what I learned in there. Because, you know, like the Grand Sheikh said, it's a total different experience when Moors get kidnapped. You know, first and foremost, the first thing is they're saying arrested and all of this stuff, but Moors know we're being kidnapped. So it's already a different energy from the beginning. But 1 second. Yep, but from the beginning, what happened was, you know, when I was so-called detained or whatever, me and little Yusuf traveling to the store, and the highwayman, of course, I seen him. You know, he was like 4 conveyances behind me, and I seen him. So I pulled over because my whole thing is I don't play with colonists. I don't play with them at all. I know we're under colonization, so I don't play but this is Morocco. They should know better. You're dealing with criminals, remember? They're criminals. I know this. I don't go down the alley, you know, with the rapists when I know that they're raping people down that alley. And talking about, I have the right to go down here. They're rapists down that alley. You don't go down the alley with the rapists. So I know that. So when I see the rapist, I dodge the rapist. That's my thing. So when I seen him, I went but he was maliciously plotting on me. So he seen me go into the parking lot and went past me. So I came back out like 2 minutes later. Behind him, he already had pulled over to the side and waited for me to ride by him. So he was already planning on pulling me over from the beginning. From the beginning, but nothing was going on. Like I didn't do anything wrong. He already had played himself, because when he wrote on the citation, it's about my plates. The plates on the conveyance. Now this ain't even my conveyance. It's my friend. He got out of state plates, but his license or whatever is registered in a different state. So they were mad about that. But that's why I got pulled over. But now they're playing the games. Here we go. I already know I'm going to get kidnapped because now, okay, let me explain this. This is different for me. This is my experience. I knew I had to get kidnapped. That was the energy I was on. Like I said, okay, we're going to jail today. I'm tired of playing this running games from y'all, this fear thing with y'all. Let's go in the belly of the beast and see what this is going on. And I had to face that fear. So I was ready. I already had it in my mind. My mom told me that too. You've been planning this. So I already had it in my mind that this is going to happen. So I was okay with this. I wasn't even stressing. I wasn't panicking or nothing. I was ready to go through whatever it was so I can get them off of me. I'm tired of them just being on me. So I said, let's go through it. Went through the whole thing. They kidnapped me, went down there. Now all of this is different because now I'm thinking it's going to be, all the stories when you get kidnapped. It's not, I'm used to it too by now from years ago, but it's not what you think when you get kidnapped. I was in there. When I was kidnapped in there, when you're from the so-called hood, I knew majority of everybody that was already in there. That was bugging me out too. I'm like, I know all of y'all. So it wasn't no problem where I was at. I knew everybody. Everybody was getting Moorish lessons and everything like that. It's not. So being in jail wasn't the problem. So now I know I'm going to go see the judge in the morning, the so-called judge in the morning. When I get up there, I'm thinking I'm about to have to stand on my square, do all my Moorish stuff. I'm ready. I never even got to speak. This is when it hit me too. Like I already knew I operate on divine first and then national. I knew it was divine once I started seeing the so-called judge ripping the lawyers. He cussed everybody out. I don't even know what this citation is. You're saying he was trying to avoid taxes. What is this? You posted him $100 bail for what? You arrested him for what? He's ripping them because I didn't do nothing wrong. The highwayman literally just ran my plates for no reason. There was nothing on I wasn't speeding. I didn't run no lights. I didn't do anything. And that's what the problem was. He just literally targeted me. And the so-called judge knew that he did that. So he's cussing the so-called prosecutor out. He's ripping her. Like, well, tell me the date. Tell me what happened. She can't say nothing. She's just quiet. And I'm like, yo, this is weird. I still haven't been able to say one word. He's cussing him out, looks at me and says, can you just bring your ID and I'll get and post $100 bail, and when you bring the ID, I'll give you your money back, and dismissed everything and sent me home. But nope, they didn't send me home. They sent me back to jail. So this was the thing. Now, when I post bail, so-called bail, I got the receipt in my pocket. I'm still in shackles downstairs in the basement, thinking, I'm like, yo, what's going on? Why do I have to still be sitting in here and I don't post bail? I should be going home. So this is what's going on. They can't believe that in the almost been 10 years. So the questions they ask me, oh, okay. Do you have a job? No. Do you get SSI? No. Do you get disability? No. Do you get food stamps? No. Did you get a COVID check? No. They asked me all of those questions and they couldn't, well, how the fuck are you living? That was like, they were shocked. Like, so you mean like really say you've been living off the land for the last 10 years? Yes. Without that, and they couldn't believe. So when they put me back in jail, they said that they were putting me back in because they needed to run my name in all 50 states to make sure I didn't have no warrants nowhere else, because they couldn't believe that you haven't gotten any assistance from that so-called government or whatever over the years. So I had to sit in so-called holding for another 2 hours just so they can run me through the system. It was crazy. But I was in there smiling in honor because I said, yo, you did it. You literally lived without that system for almost 10 years. You did it. You didn't need nothing from them. They make it seem like it's so hard to live. How do you do this? I did it for almost 10 years, to the point where they kept me for another 2 hours in jail because they couldn't believe it. Now, another thing though, while I was sitting in this so-called jail, I learned so much. I think this is why they canceled my video, because this is what I learned. The jails are on water. They got generators in there that they're literally taking the energy from the people. Like, and they're thriving off of the energy taken off of stress, anxiety, depression. That's what they're feeding off of. That's what they're sucking the energy from. That's how they thrive. Because they can't thrive off of love and happiness and stuff like that. So when they got them right next to the water with the current, and we sitting in jail cells we already know that they're just sucking energy. But to literally see it, knowing I'm going, because like I kept smiling about when I was in there, I kept smiling because I knew, yeah, they had me in there, but they didn't know who the hell they had in there. I couldn't stop smiling about that. Like, I'm like, yo, they have no idea who I am. Like, they're giving you jail food. You know, I'm vegan and I only eat 1 meal a day. So me being in there for a day and a half fasting was the easiest thing in the world. I'm like, brother, I already don't eat. Like, me not eating ain't no problem. I don't eat. Like, I'm not eating.
Oh yeah, what was the meal of the day that day again?
They had, okay, so for dinner, they give you mashed potatoes, chicken and gravy with a bread roll, right? For breakfast, they gave me porridge, two sugar packages, and some honey. I said, what the fuck is this? Right? So when they gave me the dinner, you know, in my mind, I keep forgetting because I'm not a criminal, so I'm not thinking criminal. As soon as he gave me the food, I said, yo, I can't get a salad, an apple, a banana, something like that. He said, it's jail food, and slid me my tray and kept it moving. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We in jail. You in jail, you know what I mean? But it didn't bother me. You know what I mean? I'm like, whatever. I know I'm going home. I know I'm going home, whatever. I don't have to eat. So I'm not really concerned about it. But I'm in there learning. So I learned about the nurses in there that when they do like the little scans on you, it's back to slavery when they're doing when they NFL players, basketball players go and they want to examine you, they do the whole slave exam, check your teeth, check your skin, check your body and everything. I was like, oh, okay, I see how this goes. Well, oh yeah, so that was the other thing. When I got there, look at the vampires. She don't know me from a can of sticks. She don't know me at all, the nurse lady. As soon as I get in there, she look at me, she says, hey, she goes, oh, we got a newbie. And everybody just starts looking at me. Everybody in the office looking at me up and down, like they got fresh meat. And I was like, yo, this is amazing. Like, she was like, congratulations, you made it. And I'm like, I made it. Is that a good thing? She's like, what you saying? I've been to jail before, it's a good thing. And I'm looking like, oh, this shit is wrong in here. Like, they love forbidden. Like, they never seen at that facility, they were like, oh, he's a newbie. Who is this guy? And I was like, oh, it was just weird. So they asking you all those, have you got a COVID shot? And, you know, I'm agreeing. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. Even though I know I haven't, but I don't want one now. So let's say I got one. Yeah. So I got one. Put that in the record and make sure you tell everybody. Yep. Because I ain't getting one later. But all I had to say was I had one. But the thing, I was just learning so much in there that I also one thing I was learning too, because I know, brother, I be ripping people. I be on them about selling out, doing wrong and stuff like that. But when I started looking at a lot of inmates, I started realizing that I don't really be knowing what everybody going through when they like. And that really like I was sitting there watching people detox on the floor and stuff like that, hyperventilating and drooling and stuff like that. And I was like, dad, some people really suffering. Like, I can't lean over and be like, yo, you're a Moor. You know what I mean? Your nationality and birthright, you know, the law is this. This nigga's detoxing on the floor, drooling. That's not going to help him right now.
Right.
Just getting him some water and a sandwich for him. So I had to realize that. I was like, oh, wow. I might be going a little too hard. Because I know I even people who sell out real hard. Like, but the man needed some water and a sandwich first. At least let them get some water. That was one of the biggest things I learned. Like, some people, yeah, I know we need to know that our nationality, which is key. But damn, can the man get some water first? He's dying of thirst. Give him some water. Yeah, like, that was big time to me that I really learned. It wasn't nowhere near this whole jail thing I was looking at. I wasn't looking at it like that at all. Because like I said, the judge cussed everybody out and kicked me out of jail. So I didn't go through nothing. Yeah. I didn't get to say a word. I never got to talk. I know Moor was like, oh, what Brother Yusuf say? I didn't get to talk. They kicked me out. He dismissed everything and kicked me out and told me to come back with my ID and then give me my notes back. So nothing happened. Nothing. They falsely arrested me. That's what's going on. I was literally falsely arrested, and that's why the so-called judge, cussed everybody out. Because I didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. Literally did nothing wrong. He just was targeting me because it's them out-of-state plates. When Massachusetts is so horrible. See, it's like Massachusetts. That's where I'm at.
Back again.
Back again. Yep. They think it's just, oh, Brother Jamal no, Massachusetts is if y'all can Google it, Massachusetts is the #1 worst place for police. They're the #1 worst out of all of them. Massachusetts State Police is the #1 worst. They're the worst out of all of them. And the same people bothering me right here. All right. Good idea. But yeah, it was a great, and that's the thing too. For me, Grand Sheik, I really wanted to go through that. I was like, yeah, I want to go face this fear thing that is on me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be. You know how you put that fear? They're gonna take me away from my children. I'm not gonna see my family. Like, all of that fear you put in your head that you're scared of these colonists. I said, nope, let's go get some backbone. Let's go face this. I want to see what this is all about. Let's go face this colonization. They're tough guy shit. Nah, they're not who. It's just like the Wizard of Oz, that little punk guy behind the curtain. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. This little punk guy behind the curtain. But in front, he's making all of our people do the damage, because the whole time, every time somebody put a shackle on me, it was a Moor.
Yeah.
There wasn't no European putting shackles on me. I didn't see a European until I saw the judge and the so-called lawyers. Those were the Europeans. I didn't see one. The whole time I was in so-called jail, in holding, it was all Moors that was putting chains on me. All of them. All of them. And that's what they do. They make our own, put the chains on us, and then bring us up to their master. Like, that's exactly where I was. I was like, hey, this is weird.
The master
Very
custom
weird.
all out.
Yo, custom all out. You got the wrong. I got the wrong one in here. And you can see the paperwork, how I signed this stuff and stuff like that. I'm like, I know he see how I signed it. You know, I know he see what's on the paperwork in front of him, but he don't want to address that. So he's just gonna cuss y'all all out. You know what I mean? Like, I know he's like, because if he addresses how I signed the paperwork and everything like that, with the all rights reserved, and you know what like, you once we addressed, he couldn't. You got to skip over that. And I felt like he was hiding it. My mom was, because my mother was there. That's not my counselor or whatever. My family was there. My consanguinity was there, and she was like, I thought you were gonna have to tell the judge the more stuff and all of that. I said, nope. She's like, he just was up there, cussed everybody out, and kicked you out of jail. I said, yep, that's right. And that's when I realized it's divine first. I didn't have to say a word. I never said a word. Never said a word. I didn't have to write no writ. Didn't have to, everything dismissed. He threw everything out. Just come back with your ID and we'll give you your notes back. And I'm telling them, I'm like, my ID downstairs. Like, it's in holding. Y'all took my property, it's downstairs. I can go get it right now. It's downstairs. Oh, but we got to make another date and all of this stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, it's right downstairs.
Right,
you don't got to do none of that. It's right downstairs. It's right downstairs.
Bet you if they had some evidence against you, they would have freaking went. They would have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yo, he tells the prosecutor, he goes, well, can you at least tell me the date for his default? And it's quiet, right? She don't got to answer. He goes, well, try August 20th, 2017. You know what? I'm dismissing that too. I was dying laughing. I was dying. You can't even tell me the date. You got this man in here, and you can't even tell me nothing about him. Nothing. And he was ripping him. You got this $100 post bail for what? For what?
For what?
Like, and he's asking her, for what? Why do you want 100 bail from me? It's just quiet. Quiet. He goes, is it 50 for this, 50 for that, 100 for the whole thing? Like, say something. Yo, he was ripping her, and then just gives me the, sir, can you just get your ID? I'm like, yo, look at this. Look at this. Look at it.
No, challenge the jurisdiction and all that stuff. None of that, huh?
I never had to talk.
Oh, none of that, huh? Okay.
I didn't even get to talk. My mother, she said the whole time I was up there, I was so concerned that you was going to start talking that Moorish stuff. That's what my mom saying, that Moorish stuff. And then she said, you never had to say a word. I said, wasn't that crazy? She said, you never talked. I never said one word. One word. I just stood right there. He cussed everybody out and kicked me out.
Mm-hmm.
Cussed everybody. It was amazing. Cussed everybody out, asking them questions. Everybody looking around, looking stupid. And it told me, Joe, just go get. But like I said, they couldn't believe. You know, I don't like. What do you mean? The last 10 years, where you been at? What you been doing? How you don't have no nothing? I don't have no nothing from these people, and they couldn't. No dental records, no health insurance, no nothing, no nothing. You ain't been to the doctor, hospital, no. Ginger tea. Ginger tea, turmeric. Yeah. I run 10 miles every morning. Y'all don't even know why I'm in here. I don't miss my damn run. What's wrong with y'all?
Trying to mess up the
Like,
program.
yeah, man. I train every day. I'm not dumb nigger. I'm training. I'm training for days like this. So when y'all come bothering me, I'm ready. I'm sitting back, chilling. Like this ain't nothing. My mind's prepared for this. Body prepared for this. I'm ready. I'm not fat, lazy, sitting on the couch, depressed. So when you pull me over, I'm stressed out. No, I already had plan B, C, D, E, F, G, just in
Yep.
case
All
colonizers.
the way to Z.
Yep. Because they once I already know, Grand Sheik. Once you become a Moor, they coming.
They're coming, yo.
They thought it was going to be a benefit. It's not a benefit. You under colonization.
Straight.
You not. It's like the old kung fu movies. You're not supposed to mention the last emperor who ruled here. You can't rule his name. You can't say his name no more.
Yeah.
And every time you say his name, they look at you like you know they're gonna kill you for that. And that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. You say that big 4-letter no word, talking about you a Moor. You causing problems.
Well, Brother Yusuf,
You gotta,
somebody was asking in the chat, what's your relationship with your family members who are Masons after you found out you're a Moor?
okay, now I love that question. I love that. Now that question right there is beautiful, and I can say for me, right? Because I know other Moors may have taken it differently. Now, the Masons and stuff, right? When I come in class, I rip them, right? But I know they're my elders. I'm not gonna cuss my uncle out, and I'm not gonna cuss my aunt out. I'm not doing that. They used to whip my ass. I used to have to go get my own switch for these people. I'm still scared of them in real life, but I know who they really are. So I don't disrespect them. You know what I mean? But that actually helped me because I wasn't disrespectful with their position. I could have ripped them, called them sellouts, crazy. But I always was, I know what you do. You do what you do and I do what I do. We don't got to cross paths. If we cross paths, remember, I'm standing on my side. I don't know what you're going to do. And what that did for me was at the end, we both ended up respecting each other. And it was the craziest thing that I realized. I was like, oh, so now we just respect each other off of that. Nobody steps on no toes. I actually get more help from okay. So like, everybody knew I had to go to court. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to call my uncle up, who's the city councilman of the city. You think he wasn't in there? I'm pretty sure he probably said something to somebody. It could have worked like that. I didn't see him in there, so I can't say, oh, he was in there helping. So I couldn't say that part of the story. But in the back of my head, I know my Mason uncle probably did something. He probably did something, but I never burnt that bridge. I'm glad I didn't. You know what I mean? And I started learning from Steve Coakley too, that a lot of the like Steve Coakley lectures, Masons was paying for Steve Coakley to come to do those lectures. It was Boule members who knew the truth, but they already had took the wrong side, but was helping Steve Coakley get the truth out.
Right.
So it's very weird. You know what I mean? It's weird, but it's going on. You know what I mean? It's like, brother, you Boule, but yeah, I still love my people though. And it's like, dang, man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, but it's still going on. But you not Boule, so I'll back you. You know what I mean? In the guise of me still being over here. So they're straddling. They're straddling too. Even though I call Moors who straddle, there's Masons that straddle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on, and still to this day, like my aunt, who's a Mason, she knows the dean at the colleges. She's trying to get me back in school and stuff like that. But that's because I never challenged her or nothing like that. I never was disrespectful to her. I still have that, but then it was me. I used to be like, I don't want shit from you people. You people are a bunch of sellouts, but I never would say it. But I would just, like, I don't want that. But once they knew I was a Moor, I got so much opportunities because I knew my family was trying to hide their selling out shit. They would try to, oh, well, why don't you come here and talk to this guy? I know who, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you're trying to make me come. Like, I literally, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But when I was dumb nigger, black guy, I didn't get none of those opportunities.
Yeah.
Nothing, none of that.
Nothing.
But once they see me walking around with my fez on and stuff like that, oh, one of my auntie Tracy, she's an Eastern Star. Would you need somebody to walk you in? She was talking about joining the Masons. She was gonna walk me in. My own aunt was gonna be my sponsor. You know, you gotta get a sponsor. She wanted to sponsor me. This has been my aunt all my life. I never knew she was an Eastern Star. But when I had the fez on, she was ready to walk me in that day.
That day.
That day. Oh, you know? Yep. And then now it was different. It's very weird. It's very weird. But like I was telling Brother Munir the other day, we've been in this information for years, and every day I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. You know what I mean? We're still learning. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was gonna go like that. I didn't know that would be like that. After a while, I'm like, oh, I didn't know people would help me. You know what I mean? Even though they're on the other side. Like, who the hell would have thought that?
Yeah.
Oh, but there's people on the like the ones that kidnap me and stuff. They're Masons. They're on the other side and staying on the other side. They're not straddling. They're staying sellout.
Yeah.
I love it. When they kidnap me, first thing you already got me. So now I'm asking the questions. You guys are all Moors. I'm in the back seat with the cuffs on, and I'm asking, yo, how y'all? Oh, so y'all? Because I asked them, yo, what's y'all background and whatever, and then you can always get Negroes to get right back to some Cherokee, Seminole, whatever on the. As soon as they get to that, so I'll be like, oh. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yep. Sorry about that.
You're straight, more.
It was what's the maid lady? What was that? Where was I at? Because I had to remember that.
The freaking.
Yo, one of the questions in the chat, it says, how are they helping if they're cutting us down? I see, that's what I'm saying. It's two sides. You know what I mean? It's some of them are cutting us down and some of them aren't cutting us down. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, like I was saying, I was asking the highwaymen their background. And my thing is, okay, so you know that your land has been, I asked them, I said, so how does it feel to work for the people who came and raped and murdered your family and stole your land? These Moors literally saying, one of them told me, well, I think we should just forget about that. I said, damn, man.
Yep. Just forget about that.
Yeah, we should just forget about that. You know, we moved on. I said, what? They raped your grandmother. We should forget about that. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Those are the ones I worry about, who look like me and you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we should just forget. I should just forget and take the check, right? Yeah, my grandmother was raped, but I'm gonna get this check. Wow.
Yeah, that's next level.
That's next level. Yeah, that's who they got. That's who they got out there kidnapping Moors. Yeah. Moors with that attitude. Moors who got that vision. Like, we should just forget about that and move on. You know, now saying dumb shit. You know, we're in the new millennium. I'm like, brother, you making shit up in your head to make you feel better about yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, those are the ones. Those are the ones doing the the chopping us down.
Yeah, those the ones. Those the ones.
Choppers on. And then amongst them, there's ones who they still want the benefit, but they're just gonna shut the hell up and support in secret.
Yep. Right?
Because they don't want to lose their benefit.
Yep. And sometimes the benefit, it don't even. I learned this watching them. The benefit don't even be the money. It be their little boys club. It be their little club membership as a group of them. You know what I mean? I don't want to be looked at as I'm not down with the clique, so they won't go do the right thing. Like the brother who was detoxing on the floor and drooling and spitting. And I'm like, yo, the so-called correctional officers would come in, lean over him and said, "Oh, he's still breathing," and walk away. You know, they did that for hours. He's screaming on the floor, yelling. I'm like, damn. And they just would come, "Oh, he's still breathing." So after hours of this, I couldn't take it no more. I said, "Yo, CO, can I get some water?" He comes, give me fresh water. I'm leaning down, squeezing my hand through my jail cell, reaching around to his jail cell, telling the dude, because he's young. He was like 25, 28 years old. And I'm saying, "Yo, you got to drink this water. You got to get up. You got to be strong. You got to fight this shit. Like, you ain't going to just sit here. I'm not going to I know you don't know me. And I don't know you, but I can't just let you just die and stuff like that, man. You got to get up and be strong." And as I'm doing this with him, because I ain't got nothing but time, hours is going by. One of the COs, he's walking with the crowd. They walk by, they see what I'm doing. The other ones keep going. He stops and comes back and says, "Yo, I appreciate what you're doing, thanks." And then scoots and runs back off with the crowd. I said, "Yo, that's why you wouldn't help him? Because you scared to lose your friendship boys club thing with you. You know the right thing to do would be to help him."
Yeah. Right. And that's the part and that's the part of it that makes those people wrong. Even though they didn't really do wrong like that. They didn't do wrong. But the fact that they'll say, let this guy suffer because I want to be part of the cool club. That's why they're wrong. Same thing with the people who see something bad and don't do anything about it. They just let it slide. People who don't have any position. Like, how many people you see watching somebody struggle?
Absolutely. I said, nah, not. I'm like, yo, he been yelling for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And he been yelling, CO. Oh. I'm like, brother, I know he detoxing and the pain's gonna go away in a little while, but damn, have some companionship for the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just talking to him, telling him he gonna get through it is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Like that was, but I was like, it wasn't in I'm telling my consanguinity the story. It was like, I can't believe you had seen it, went through it. It wasn't even the brother. The scary thing was the unhumane part of people not helping him.
Yeah.
Him detoxing and drooling in front of me, that ain't shit. I see that. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. The screaming, being in pain, it was the companionship that really, I was like, yo, nobody's going to have the human dignity to help this man? Really?
Yeah.
Nobody. And it's a bunch of people locked up and everything. Everybody ignoring him, dozing off, sleep. And I'm like, how you sleep? And he yelling.
Yeah.
How y'all doing this? I'm the only one, because like I said, they didn't know who they had in there.
And then that could have been that was part of the lesson too. You know what I mean? That was really for you to deal with, not anybody else in there.
In the beginning. Yep, that's what I was saying.
Anybody else?
That's what I was saying.
That was all you. Who knows? You didn't do that for that guy, and you might not have came home.
You see what I'm saying?
That was the test right there.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
You helped the inmate.
The whole goosebumps, Grand Sheet, hairs rising on my back right now.
You helped the inmate, and judge cuss everybody out.
But everybody out.
Not help the inmate. You're going for a year, for freaking riding in somebody else's ride that has no issues.
Exactly.
And they just holding you just because.
The clerk was told my mom, oh, he might do a year for the failure to identify. And all, I'm like, what? I'm going home today. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going home today. A year? No, I'm going home today.
A year for
that
failure
is
to
not
identify.
in my manifesto. I'm like, yo, you know who Noble Ali is, right? Like, I'm going home today. Not doing a year. You know who my prophet is?
Yep.
I'm going home today. This was something I needed to go through. Because
now it's smooth sailing now.
Yo, it's all this light. I said, oh, I thought y'all were big tough guys. Y'all not big tough guys. Y'all just a bunch of liars. Just a bunch of liars. And they're all fat, lazy, drunks. And I'm like, yo, look, this is my competition. Really?
The competition.
This is it. This is my competition. You guys are a joke. You guys get by with lying and manipulating people. Besides that, they lose in every aspect.
Yeah.
And the highwayman that pulled me over, I'm looking at him, I'm like, I see his badge, his title is Torres, Moorish Latin brother. And I'm looking at him like, this big, fat, lazy highway, he ain't shaved today. He's the one that's going to put the cuffs on me. It's so disrespectful. Like, at least get somebody in shape. Somebody who I think could, like, give me a challenge. Like, I will beat your fat ass. Is you crazy? Like, it was so disrespectful to me. I'm like, no, I don't deserve this guy. It needs to be some competition.
Yeah.
Like, not this. I'm not going out like this. I worked too hard for that. But the big thing was, the mental thing. I start making stories up in my head and stuff like that, thinking something. But when I got there and I start seeing all my childhood friends, I said, oh, this is going to be easier than I thought. It's about to be way easier than I thought. We was up all night reminiscing.
For real.
Like it was the cookout.
You got the cookout as your sentence.
Yeah, it was. I got a bunch of numbers. I got a new mechanic. I got a mechanic's phone number. He wants to flip conveyances. Where I was making business plans with people. It was crazy. Bunch of stuff happened in less than 24 hours. I said, yo, this was a good thing. Because I stay in the house. I study. I don't go nowhere. I work out, come back in the house, study, work on the land, farm. Me just being out there, I was like, I haven't talked to people in years. I do class, talk to the grand sheet. It's people that haven't seen me in years. That, brother, where you been at? We're in the house. In the house.
You been at the house? What the hell?
I was just going around the corner. I was going, and Grant, this is how I know something's wrong. The last time I got the same thing, traveling without their license. This ain't my first gig. When this happened to me, it was the 23rd of this year, 2020, so-called 2022. When I had the incident happen to me last time, it was August 20th, 2017. It's the same week. It's the anniversary.
That's crazy.
And I get back, my mom was like, it must be something with this energy that they're picking up because it's the week right before school. You know what I mean? So it's like, they're harassing people for that because we're already stressing. We're trying to get last minute school shopping done, school supplies, get your child in school, sign them up for this. They got to go to the doctors, get the physical. It's so much you're already stressing on. You got to go to work. And now they're pulling people over. They're adding to the stress. This is purposely designed. I said, they're designing this perfectly. Like I said earlier, they thrive off of the energy of depression, anxiety, stress, fear. That's how they thrive. That's how they're thriving.
Yeah.
That's why they get. When I saw the food in jail, they give you starch and meat. There's no vegetables. You need those colorful plants. That red in the red pepper plant, the green and stuff. You need those colors for your skin, your fibers, and all of that. They don't put that shit in jail. You get starch. We're gonna clog your arteries. This is purposely done. but they're supposed to be rehabilitating you. Remember, they're actually making it worse, purposeful.
Concentration camp.
But they're thriving off of that energy. I noticed. I said, this is how they're surviving, off of this energy right here.
Yeah. That lower self energy is what makes them live.
That's what makes them live. That's what the vampires. I said, oh, these vampires are advanced now, like in the movie Blade, when they show you in Blade that the vampires can come out in the sun now.
Yeah.
Same thing now. Vampires don't gotta bite your neck for your energy, for your blood.
Yeah.
They got generators and shit now. They got, you know what I mean, stuff on TV that can make you act fearful and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they can just get that, and they don't need to even touch you no more. They ain't got to be in the same room, and they still getting that same energy that they wanted from you.
Still getting that energy, just
still
because.
Getting it.
Just because.
Because they put it's purposeful. It's purposeful because look. Okay, great. I was done with these people. I just wanted to get done with them. You know, I had the notes. I was like, I'll just give you all y'all notes. Leave me alone. I'm tired of you. Every time I go outside on my porch, y'all riding by my, because it was bad. I was kicking their ass too much. So I was just like, y'all want some finance? Here go your finance. They didn't want the finance. They wanted me. I'm sending these people finance. They sending the shit back. I'm writing them like the whole $100 bail thing is supposed to be a $100 court fee. I sent that shit 3 years ago. They sent it right back. I said, no, look, they don't want your notes. They want you.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And that's what the judge said. Kick me out. I'll give you your money back. I said, that's what y'all did last time. Y'all wanted me. y'all wanted me. They want your energy. And I'm like she said, a newbie. Yeah. Yep.
That's a newbie. A new battery.
Yep.
New battery to suck.
But like I'm looking at her. Yeah, you don't know what battery you done got in here.
Yeah. They messed up.
You messed up.
They messed up.
And but you can literally feel it. I told my sister, I said, because you know our diet is right. We more in tune. So once I got into the facility, I can immediately feel that energy. Immediately. I said, oh no, it's different in here. It's different in here. It was way. I said, and then I'm building with the correctional officers in there. Now they got your record. You know, they're coming up to me talking about, yo, why you don't want to be a cop? Like, yo, you don't have a record. You never been arrested. You like your record's clean. And then the cop goes, you got me beat. And I'm like, oh, you can go to jail and still be a cop. And they both start giggling. I never knew you could go to jail. Yeah, I never knew. I said, yo, people who go to jail can become cops. That's for real. Oh, it depends. And then they go, well, if you have a felony, you can't be a cop. And then the other partner goes, well, it depends on what type of felony. And I'm like, yo, so you can be a felon?
You could be a police and a felon.
Yo, that's crazy. It's crazy. He said they're hiring like crazy right now. And then the correctional officer, he's telling me, yeah, you should be don't be a correctional officer. We got to go to jail every day. I was like, yo, that's not. And then he said, and they treat us like inmates. We can't bring our phone in here. We can't talk to our family. We can't. And they search us. I was like, oh shit, you really go to jail every day? Like I didn't realize. Your phone.
Their work is jail.
Yeah. They search us.
They're pretty much like an inmate.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then the nurse lady, she's adding on to him. She said, yeah, they do random checks. Sometimes I come into the break.
There's the countdown.
Oh, okay. All right. Islam,
Islam, happy holy day to all the Moors. I will let you learn something. Honors to the Prophet Noble Ali. We already know he's the man.
Islam to the Prophet.
Honors
he always holding it down, man.
Straight up. Honors to all the mothers. Happy holy day, Moors.